Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Wellness Wednesday, and we're here to open your mind. Good life, good life, in a different lane. We are here on Wellness Wednesday. We are here on the Good Life Radio Show. And I want to remind everyone, if you miss a show, you don't ever have to really have that problem. You can make sure that you go on Spreaker.com and you can find every show that you've missed. You can just type in the Good Life Radio Show, and there we are. And if you are so inspired, you can just follow us, and the shows will automatically be delivered to you, because that is the good life. So open your mind to living differently in the world. Make sure you follow us on Spreaker.com and all of our social media sites and platforms. That is the Good Life Radio Show on Facebook. That is at TGL Radio Show on Instagram and at TGL Radio Show on Twitter, because that is the good life. So here on Wellness Wednesday, I have a little remix for us, and I thought this would be a good idea because, I love listening to my listeners, and I have had a lot of them, give me some information and feedback on our social media sites. So if you have any ideas and something that you want to hear, make sure you let us know, because we respond, because that's what the good life is all about. I can open my mind to living differently in the world. And so at the beginning of every Wednesday, we're going to start doing a new exercise or a new sport, something that you may know of, something that you may not have heard of, something, you just need to be reminded of. We'll do that in either a food item or, something that can make you feel better. So today, what does jujitsu and apple cider vinegar have in common?
Wow.
They both fight something. So I have Bashan Jordan of Tiger Rock NOLA in the studio with me today. And I actually have Doc Griggs on the phone with me today because he's flooded.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Just like everybody else.
Yes.
And my feet are wet, and the dog is on the couch.
Oh, God.
Well, lucky for you that you have a guard dog, because if you didn't, you might need to know some jujitsu. So we're going to start with this new thing, and if you don't know what it is, you will find out today. Because actually, I learned about it, golly, I was in like 1920, and I had a friend that was actually like a black belt in it, and he used to teach me all these self-defense things, and I was like, yeah. But after a while, you need to practice something to keep it up.
Yeah. So
when I found out that Bashan's does jujitsu, I was like, yes, you have got to teach me this.
Wow.
So I'm really excited to, give you a little bit about it. Long story short, jujitsu promotes the concept that a smaller, weaker person can successfully defend against a bigger, stronger assailant using proper technique, leverage, and most notably taking the fight to the ground and applying different joint locks and things of that nature. But I'm gonna steer this to the professional, Doc Griggs, because just like you're the professional in medicine and he's a professional in the art of hurting somebody. Martial arts. Yeah. So Bashan, give us a little bit about exactly what jiu-jitsu is.
You kind of pretty much said it.
I took extra words out of your mouth.
Well, no, I mean, jiu-jitsu was created for people of smaller stature in a way. Because what it does, it uses the other person's body, how can I put it?
Against them?
Yeah, against them. Yeah. So, you usually if somebody's bigger than you, they're going to probably want to try to tackle you or muscle you or try to throw you to the ground. So
go low, right?
Exactly. So jiu-jitsu takes that and puts it on the defender's advantage. So, there's different types of jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu was originally created in Japan. Then the most popular, I guess not most popular, but the recently more popular style of jiu-jitsu is Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
That's what I was reading about.
Which we see a lot in MMA, which is mixed martial arts. Is very popular now all across the country, across the world.
Do they use a lot of this in that Ultimate Fighter type?
Yeah, that's the MMA.
Okay.
Ultimate Fighter, Ultimate Fighting, UFC. That's MMA. They use a lot of jiu-jitsu. So when you see them taking people to the ground or they're on the ground, kind of look like they're wrestling, it's part jiu-jitsu.
They're really trying to get
yeah,
their air out their system.
Yeah. So you see, for you ladies, Ronda Rousey was the most popular, I guess, UFC fighter for everybody recently, and that was one of her favorite things was jiu-jitsu.
Really.
Putting people in was called an arm bar.
Arm lock, huh?
And yes, putting people in arm bars and making them.
Is that what you taught me?
Tap.
Y'all, he taught me a new move.
I taught you. It's called a rear naked choke, which is probably one of the most popular.
Don't play with me, y'all. I know how to defend myself.
Submission moves that there is.
Submit.
To make them submit or make them pass out. You can put
both
somebody
now.
to sleep really easy with that.
Really?
Yeah, and especially and
but
here,
only to protect yourself.
Only to protect yourself. Yeah, exactly, because it could be very dangerous too. So you got to be real careful with that. But real quick story on Ronda Rousey, if you don't know who she is, reason she got big into MMA or martial arts was her mom used to teach her in a way. Her mom used to wake her up out of her sleep in an arm bar.
Really?
Yes. It was crazy.
What a way to wake up.
If you woke up
Rise
in
and
that
shine.
pain, boy, you would never want to go to sleep again. I promise you that.
Why?
Quit. I'm not waking.
Why?
It's
that was their thing.
That was just her thing,
Okay.
and to just get her prepared. Now look at her. She's
I've
one
never
of,
been more grateful for my mother than this moment.
She's probably one of the great,
Thanks.
Where they do
Thanks,
that?
Gigi.
at the Ronda Rousey house.
Wow.
I guess some people go to the extreme. I guess but
Yes, we will talk about going to extremes the next segment.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah. But jiu-jitsu it's a very challenging sport. A lot of people don't like it because it's very in close, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of you're very
touchy-feely.
connected to your partner, more than a lot of
But
other
if you're
martial
trying to
arts.
hurt me, you're trying to get close too. So I'm
Exactly.
just trying to control
and
the
that's more
situation.
practical. It's real practical because, like I said, a lot of people, common thing people do is they want to take it to the ground and slam it to the ground or whatever it may be. Most fights, I would say 80% of fights end up on the ground, right? So.
But what I love about this is it's an art that you can defend yourself.
Uh-huh.
You can make the other person submit and nobody perishes.
Exactly.
Oh, imagine that. Okay.
Yeah. So and now there's a traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then there's now the sport, which is the MMA. We just talked about the UFC. So the MMA, it combines where people are actually striking you and hitting you and punching you and kicking you and things like that. Whereas traditional Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it just involves you basically rolling around and trying to submit the other person in the headlock, or they have different types of they have arm bars. You have what's called a triangle choke. You have the rear naked choke I showed Eileen earlier.
Yes.
There's so many different things.
You know what?
And it's a
I think
great
we should video
exercise.
it.
It's a great exercise. Let me tell you something.
We're gonna
most
video it.
most matches that they do is probably like 2 to 5 minutes, maybe. Depends on how.
That's all it takes?
And I'm telling you something. That is a workout. That will kill. You do 5 minutes of jiu-jitsu, just rolling around nonstop. You'll be.
So how did you start in jiu-jitsu? Give us a quick.
Well, we started it a couple of years ago. It's been a while now. It's been about 10 years now. We started it, maybe a little bit longer than that. It was part of our program. We just to kind of enhance our training a little bit, to make us better martial artists and better instructors, and so we want to be well rounded.
So can you teach us?
Of course.
So you're going to start a class if I get enough people?
I would love to.
Okay, listeners, I need your help.
I would love to. I would love to do that again. That was one of my favorite things to do. It kind of dwindled down a little bit because a lot of people aren't really into.
We need it now.
Yes, you do definitely
Y'all play
need
around
it now.
if you want to.
Need everything, anything you can get your hands on besides the gun. You do need that though. It's really good self-defense because you need to be prepared no matter what.
And so if somebody wanted to contact you,
just give me a call at 504-831-1110. You can reach
You're
out
a pro.
to me.
I need it twice.
504-831-1110. Or you can reach out to me on social media. We have our Instagram is Tiger Rock NOLA. Or you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter, all that good stuff. So we're all
that
over.
good stuff.
Yeah.
So if you were wondering what jiu-jitsu and apple cider vinegar had in common, and you know what, Doc Riggs, I'm so sad that you were not in the studio this morning because guess what my water looks like?
Apple cider vinegar.
Correct. Correct. So I have, that's my new thing to sip on. Since you talk about me with my green water, I decided to mix it up a little bit. Why not, put a couple teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in there, because it seems that, it's kind of the new thing. Everybody thinks they know what it does or it doesn't do. So we want to have a conversation and kind of dispel some myths and let people know what does it really do. So, Doc Riggs, what are the benefits of apple cider vinegar?
One of the benefits, a lot of the things that you're saying are, there's a lot of myths surrounding it, and just because they haven't been scientifically proven. One of the benefits is that they say it cancels out some of the carbs that you eat. What it does is the acetic acid actually interferes with the metabolism of some of the starches that you eat. So it can, in a way, in the small studies have shown that it's been able to help regulate your blood sugar. By consuming the vinegar before your meal, it softens that blow of that rush of blood sugar, of sugar into your bloodstream, and eliminates that crash.
I am all about it.
That's one of the few studies that's been done on humans. Other studies have been done on animals. They were saying that it's a great weight loss tool. Well, the only study that was done, it was a small study, 175 people. They tracked them over 12 weeks, and the group that took a little bit of apple cider vinegar versus the group that didn't, one lost 1.8 pounds in 3 months, one lost 2.6 pounds in 3 months, which isn't really clinically significant.
I'll take an extra pound.
What it can do, and there was another small study that found that people that drank a little bit, teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar before eating breakfast of white bread felt more satisfied 90 minutes after eating the bread as opposed to those that didn't. And note that it really didn't do that much. I mean, like I said, it alters the metabolism of starch or carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. Lots of other stuff. I mean, it can clean your fruit and veggies. It's a great antibacterial. If you dilute it down, you clean your fruit and veggies and wash it down. It can kill bad breath because it does have an antibacterial property to it. But there are other things that can do it besides vinegar. If you don't want vinegary breath, but it does. It can deodorize your smelly feet. Same thing as
all y'all boys.
Fruits and veggies. Your feet might smell a little bit like vinegar, but it can help with that.
You'd rather that than the alternative.
It can really, apple cider vinegar in general can actually help with jellyfish stings if you happen to have a bottle nearby. If you're unlucky enough to get bitten by a jellyfish. And it's not just the apple cider vinegar. It's actually any type of vinegar. There's a red vinegar that works really well. And the unfiltered, or the one with the stuff in it, that stuff is called the mother. The mother helps to promote bacterial growth, as does the undigested starch in your gut, which can I guess in a way can help your digestion. It's kind of people are on the fence about whether or not apple cider vinegar can relieve heartburn. It depends on what causes the heartburn, and you have to be really careful about taking apple cider vinegar orally because it's an acid, and if it gets into your lungs, it can cause acid burns inside in your respiratory tract.
Ouch. That sounds painful. So those are some of the benefits. What are some of the bogus claims? Because we always hear that it can do this and that. I heard it can whiten your teeth. I heard, all kinds of things.
Yeah, okay. So we'll start with
that you should put it on your face.
I'd be really careful because it is an acid. It can eat the enamel off of your teeth. So I wouldn't recommend it. The soothing sunburn, it's an acid. It'll only irritate your skin more. The acne one, even though it doesn't have the antibacterial traits, it can irritate your skin and aggravate any lesions even more, which is bad. We talked about appetite suppression. The big one is detoxifying your system. Anyone that tells you that they're going to detoxify your system by putting your feet in some water or detoxifying with this, that, and the other, run.
Use those feet and run.
Detoxifying mechanisms in place called your kidneys, your liver, your gastrointestinal tract, your skin, your sweat to take care of all that stuff. I'll just say there's been no scientific evidence to support any of that. How about that?
Well, thanks for taking the air out my balloon.
I'm just saying.
Well, that's what the good life is all about.
It cleans wounds. You can use antibacterial soap to clean wounds, and it won't sting as much because you got to remember vinegar is an acid.
Right.
And acid burns.
Put some vinegar on it, baby. It's going to be all right.
You get a strawberry on your leg. Think about it. You're going to pour Bactine or antibacterial, you're going to take some acid and dump on it. Which do you think is going to hurt more?
The acid.
That's something your grandma tell you to do. Go put some vinegar on that, baby.
Put some milk on it. No, y'all don't listen.
Go get that mercurochrome on my
Yes.
Yeah.
Light you up.
And then drink some castor oil with that. You'll be all right.
Oh, man. Put some goose grease on your chest. You'll be all right, baby.
Oh, my goodness. Y'all, we are on Wellness Wednesday. It is the good life. We have learned about jujitsu. We have also learned about the benefits and the bogus charges of apple cider vinegar. And we have a very special guest for you. They are going to be on the other side of the break. I have Henry Bolden III. He is a pastor. He is opening people's minds to living differently in the world. He's going to sit in I asked him to come sit in on our second segment with Bobby Clark Alexander from the ATL, because what's going on in our community, I kind of really wanted their thoughts on thought process. But I need you to stay tuned throughout the entire show, because Pastor Henry Bolden III is going to be here talking about leadership and vision, and we need more of that in our city. And so I brought him here today to hopefully open our minds to living differently in the world. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tune in to Up to Date here on WBOK 1230 AM. Up to Date is a daily show that covers the day's top events and how they affect you. I'm John Slade, and I'll be your host for Up to Date, airing Monday through Friday at noon on WBOK 1230 AM. Real talk for real times.
Security keeps our family, friends, and event goers safe. And to do that job, they are looking for you. L&R Security Services is now hiring persons for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, armed and unarmed guards. All interested persons should contact L&R Security Office at 504-943-3191. Fill out an application at L&R's office at 3930 Old Gentilly Road. That's New Orleans, Louisiana. To become one of the proud workers of L&R Security, the minimum requirements are 18 years of age, a completed work application, and criminal background check, 2 forms of ID, whether it be a driver's license, a state ID, military ID, social security card, or other forms of picture ID. L&R Security is looking for qualified employees to assist in keeping the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival safe. They are looking for you. Again, contact them at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191. L&R is always looking for armed and unarmed guards. If this is your profession, they're looking for you.
Are you in the music business? Do you want to learn more about how to make money from your music? Then don't miss the 9th Annual Sync Up Conference, presented by the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation. This free event features workshops and interviews with top leaders from the business of hip-hop, R&B, jazz, and more. We'll present an exclusive talk with J. Cole's manager, Ibrahim Hamad, interviewed by New Orleans' own D1. We'll also talk with the head of the company that released Kendrick Lamar's first record. We'll discuss the business of gospel music, crowdfunding, running a Grammy-winning independent jazz label, the rise of New Orleans-born rapper Pell, and we'll interview rising R&B star S80. It's all at the Sync Up Conference, and it's all free in the morning before Jazz Fest. See the full schedule and free registration at www.syncupconference.com. Presented by the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation.
Gentilly Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentilly Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentilly Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentilly Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabou for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentilly Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabou in Gentilly.
Hi, this is Norman Robinson. New Orleans East Hospital is open and providing quality health care in your neighborhood. The New Orleans East Hospital is bringing our finest physicians into a beautiful new facility where you receive compassionate caring service. Emergency room services at New Orleans East Hospital are some of the best in the region. To learn more, visit our website at noehospital.org. Your health matters to us at New Orleans East Hospital.
Awesomely amazing, the facts made clear. Data News Weekly, the paper to cheer. The people's paper for natural growth. Honorable achievers achieving the most. Data News Weekly, the future of our youth. In the city of New Orleans, without excuse. Understanding the expression, Black Lives Matter, yet we're failing to climb the ladder. The absence of love, the missing link. It's time we commit to effectively think, uplifting our women, families as well. Safer communities in order to excel. Managing anger, developing our minds. Data News Weekly, preventing decline. Restoring our decency, restoring our faith, thoroughly conscious, removing disgrace, the best of character constantly applied, self-determination, no one denied, mothering children, mothers up to par, the purpose of life beyond a star. So let us prioritize what is urgently needed. Data News Weekly, regression defeated, no longer distracted, no longer confused. So great is the substance of Data News.
Pick up your copy of Data News Weekly today.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Wellness Wednesday, and we're here to open your mind. We live a good life, good life, in a different land. The Good Life radio show is brought to you by Morris Reed Jr. If you have been hit in a car accident or charged with a crime, please do not go run behind somebody. Find MorrisReedJr.net online. The Morris Reed Jr. Law Firm is a full-service law firm that fights vigorously to get you the money you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or you have been charged with a crime, make sure you contact Morris Reed Jr. and let their experienced, highly qualified attorneys provide you with expert legal help today. Call 504-488-HELP. That's 504-488-4357. You can reach them and find them online at MorrisReedJr.net. MorrisReedJr.net. If you don't remember anything else, just remember his name, Morris Reed Jr. Make sure you contact him because that is the good life. And, you know, I kind of jest with, obviously, he's a sponsor, and y'all hear that every day. So it doesn't just have to go with what I'm talking about, but because it does flow so well with what I'm talking about, let me bring Bobby Clark Alexander from the ATL. She's my life coach. She's been my life coach for, Bobby, years now. Thank the Lord. Without you, I don't know. I might be calling my own attorney, right? And so we have, I'm grateful that we have Pastor Henry Bolden III, who is in the studio with us today. You know, I brought him in on this segment because I really want his thoughts on this as well, and he is going to lead us with a leadership segment and vision, because after this segment, we're really going to need it. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. I really didn't want to talk about this, y'all. I'm not kidding. Y'all know I like to be positive. I don't even watch the news because I don't like the first 10 minutes because it's just wild. Mm-hmm. I don't like the negativity. But when I woke up this morning, I read my news, and I just could not help but process this. So I'm on WDSU.com, and I see Will Smith's death. We all know what went on Saturday, and by no means am I an attorney. By no means am I a judge. I don't even really want to. It's not even about the specifics of the case. I'm going to leave that to those who handle it. Yes. My conversation is thought process. What is going on in our thought process? So the passenger of Hayes' vehicle, he issued a statement. So as it reads, the attorney for the passenger who was riding the vehicle of the man arrested in the death of former New Orleans State defensive end Will Smith issued a statement Tuesday night. The passenger of Cardell Hayes' Hummer H2, Kevin O'Neill, told his attorney that Cardell saved his life. My client believes that Cardell saved his life, Ruffin said. Smith had a gun and was going to shoot it, and Cardell may have saved both of their lives. In my mind, this is justifiable homicide. Was Will Smith acting like a saint? This was a hit and run that ended up in a tragedy. You've got the aggression of two football players facing off with each other as if they're on the field, and you're going to get your point across by any means necessary. What? Did y'all read what I read? Yeah, did you hear?
Yes.
What I got out of that? Okay.
He was justified for shooting somebody?
The thought process behind that statement is beyond my comprehension. Mm-hmm. It really is. Yeah. I'm a mother.
Okay.
And you know what? Wait, Bobby, before you go, I have to bring this home for y'all because yesterday I found out that my son knows Mr. Hayes. Wow. Talk about a wow moment. Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? He lived around my ex-husband, and Aiden had been trained by him in the lot across the street. Wow. Learning football skills. Talk about exactly. So New Orleans is so small, you never know how we're connected, and we are a community, and we need to start acting like a community. And our thought process, just for me, needs to be a little bit clearer. It needs to be about love, compassion, tolerance, and understanding. I talk about it on The Good Life all the time, but this is one of those days that I really feel that we're going to jump into it. Bobby, I'm going to let you go, and then Henry, I'm going to let you follow her up. Go ahead, Bobby.
Okay. This is a lot. It's a mouthful, and greetings to the listening audience, and, of course, to the pastor there in the studio, Pastor Bolden. Good morning. It's afternoon here. But I just want to throw this in, Eileen. When there are emotional hurts or any type of indiscretions or situations in our lives that have been unresolved, it goes, and I do counseling, secular and spiritual. Mm-hmm. But on both sides, I use this regimen to deal with clients. Okay, so when you have these issues, and then if you don't resolve them, then it leads to unforgiveness. Then after unforgiveness, people begin to get bitter because it's still there. You haven't touched it. And then it leads to anger. And from anger, it goes to rage. And from rage, it results in some type of death, either physical or the end of a marriage, a relationship, or something. But there's like a spiritual death as well to die when something is not done. So people have, you said, thought process. Eileen, actually, that's the root of most of these type situations, whether it was with each other or something unresolved in their lives. Unforgiveness, something is in there. There's a root to this type of resolve when we come up with something like this.
And what we don't understand is our thoughts manifest things.
Yes, they do.
Open your mind, y'all. Our thoughts manifest things.
Yes, they do.
We are creating a community with violence. Open your mind. A little bit of love, compassion, understanding. We can lead to many different things. Pastor Bolden, please help me out here. Thought process. What is the deal?
Well, I agree with what she was just saying. It is absolutely true that most of the the lashing out that we are experiencing in our city, particularly as a result, are rooted in deep-seated unresolved issues. And consequently, because they are unresolved issues, then we have people, countless people running around our city who do not have the ability to resolve conflict void of violence. And they do not value life. They do not value their brother, their sister, to the point where, hey, it's easy for me to sit down and talk with you. We may disagree, but it doesn't have to end the way it's been.
We can agree to disagree.
Absolutely. And I'm going to shake your hand. We're going to walk away. We'll eat a sandwich another day
and we'll both be there for our kids.
We'll be there for our kids. But and I think if we don't stop it, then we just perpetuate that same activity. It becomes transgenerational. I do what my father did. I see how my father handled certain circumstances. So now, innately, it's ingrained in me. This is how I deal with this matter because Daddy dealt with it like that. And then consequently, the son does it. Then the grandson does it.
So what do you mean? It's the responsibility of the adults to be an example? Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely.
I
know it's a foreign concept and it's kind of antiquated. If you look at
So you mean all the
behavior,
listeners, it's our responsibility?
It is absolutely.
Wow.
And I think we have to determine or make a resolution that we're going to break these generational strongholds, whether it has been a string of violence throughout certain families, because there are certain families, if you mention their last name, you immediately associate robbery, theft, murder. And consequently, we have the power to change people's perception of who we are and start perpetuating some new concepts, educating our young men. You don't gain respect by killing somebody to prove that you're a man. You gain respect by exhibiting responsibility and exhibiting respect absolutely every day of your life.
When did it become, when was that the standard that I'm a man, or, if I one up you? Now, I understand if you're in competition on the court and, they got a shot, I'm going to get a shot. They got a touchdown, I'm going to get a touchdown. They scored a goal, I'm going to score a goal. Yeah. I get that. Right. But at what point do you leave that mentality, or can you separate that mentality?
I think,
is that possible?
It's possible, but there are a lot of conflicting views right now because your mentality is influenced by the imagery you see. Particularly today when we have video games that are R-rated in the hands of 5-year-olds, and the video games are centered around killing. I get more points by how many people I kill.
I know.
I win the game if I can steal the most cars or disrespect the most women. And so I think if we change the imagery of our youth particularly, we'll change the mentality, because you can't change your reality until you change your mentality.
Oh, I like that. I might coin that. That was coined right on The Good Life. Bobby, what help me out?
God.
Exactly. That's exactly. Thank you.
I was thinking about, we have lost the inability to sit down and come let's reason together. We have we're handling ourselves in such barbaric ways. Whatever happened to let's sit down, can we talk about this? And so what the pastor is saying about how it's perpetuated and it's generational, and people go by appearances and who gets the biggest awe and who's down. And we have lost values for life, value to consider someone else's feelings or thoughts. We have to bring that back. And it comes in the home. It comes in our local church. We need it in our local churches, because when all.
But how do you reach the people who don't go to church?
To be honest, where do we run? To the church. Okay.
How do we reach the people who aren't there? How do we reach the? Because I'm gonna be very honest. Right now, there are a lot of people who are feeling more spiritually connected than necessarily a religious connection. So how do you reach those people who may not be a regular in the church, or they may have a family member that is? So how do we reach those people who aren't a regular in the church? And I'm not saying that either one of these gentlemen were, because they possibly absolutely were. Mm-hmm. But how do we reach that generation to help change their thought process of, I need to outdo them and one-up them by physical harm? Mm-hmm. Like, how do we reach them? Like, my child's 12. Like, this is our city. I don't want to move somewhere else. And if you read all the social media, I mean, y'all, this isn't just like a conversation we're having in New Orleans. Right. This is a national conversation that is now, and it's not just a national conversation. I mean, the White House is having this conversation now. They, put their 2 cents on it as well. New Orleans, and what can we do to open our mind to living differently in the world? Now that we've had this tragedy, how can we turn it around to take a look at our crime and bring something positive out of it? Unfortunately, we cannot bring back Mr. Will Smith, but we can do something positive in his memory. So what is that going to be? Hopefully it's some leadership and some vision. And we will be talking with Pastor Henry Bolden III when we get back, and he's going to deliver a message. Make sure you stay tuned. This is The Good Life. We'll be right back.
Greetings, loyal listeners. I get a lot of callers seeking relationship advice. My advice? Go to AT&T. For a limited time when you buy one of their most popular smartphones, you get one free when you buy both on AT&T Next. Healthy relationships come from having things in common. Matching smartphones is a great start. AT&T, mobilizing your world.
For BOGO, buy select devices at regular price with eligible service and well-qualified credit. Free one requires new line with 30-month 0% APR contract with up to $21.67 a month payments. Get up to $650 in 30-bill credit starting in 3 bills. Tax due at sale of service canceled on one. That device balance due. Charges and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
Looking for that perfect gift for a birthday, an anniversary, or how about just to brighten someone's day? Mona's Accents is your one-stop shop for beautiful floral arrangements that are indeed perfect for any special occasion. Dedicated to quality, freshness, and customer satisfaction, Mona's Accents will surely take care of all of your floral needs. So stop by the shop located at 2109 North Claiborne Avenue or call us at 504-944-7001 and let us arrange and deliver your floral gifts. Again, that's 504-944-7001, or you can order online at www.monasaccents.com. Mona's Accents, freshness, quality, and customer satisfaction guaranteed.
L&R Security keeps our family, friends, and event goers safe. And to do that job, they are looking for you. L&R Security Services is now hiring persons for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, armed and unarmed guards. All interested persons should contact L&R Security Office at 504-943-3191. Fill out an application at L&R's office at 3930 Old Gentilly Road. That's New Orleans, Louisiana. To become one of the proud workers of L&R Security, the minimum requirements are 18 years of age, a completed work application, and criminal background check, 2 forms of ID, whether it be a driver's license, state ID, military ID, social security card, or other forms of picture ID. L&R Security is looking for qualified employees to assist in keeping the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival safe. They are looking for you. Again, contact them at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191. L&R is always looking for armed and unarmed guards. If this is your profession, they're looking for you.
Gentilly Italian Pies, home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentilly Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentilly Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentilly Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabou for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentilly Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabou in Gentilly.
In 1972, Liberty Bank opened its doors in New Orleans, Louisiana, with a focus on service and a sincere interest in community and business development. Nearly 4 decades later, Liberty Bank has expanded, securing 4 additional locations in Greater New Orleans and 18 branch offices in 6 states. In addition to banking services, Liberty Bank now offers a plethora of new services such as low interest rate credit cards, mortgage financing, and personal and business credit lending. Liberty Bank's growth has been the result of strong management and increased staff productivity. At Liberty Bank, we're passionate about achieving economic freedom. There's real freedom here, the freedom to attain all your financial goals. Liberty Bank is committed to strengthening our community. We work hard, play hard. We invest where our heart lives and pursue freedom for all. In Liberty Bank, we trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
WBOK, real talk for real times.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Wellness Wednesday, and we're here to open your minds. And if you didn't know, now you know. The Good Life is April 21st. That is Thursday, April 21st at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. The New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce will be hosting its 2016 annual meeting. Make sure you are there in the house. I checked yesterday. They only have a few spaces left, and they will be coming on here to give us a little bit more information in the next coming week to let us know and give us little tips about what's going on. So make sure you stay tuned to The Good Life. You can register online at norbchamber.org. That's norbchamber.org. Make sure you register. It's only $65. It is something you do not want to miss. They will have 2 keynote speakers. There will be Senator Karen Carter Peterson, and there will be State Representative Walt Leger. They will be breaking down the budget crisis to us and let us know exactly how it affects your business, because that is a good life. So make sure you are there April 21st. That is a Thursday, 11:30 at the Hyatt, because that is the good life. Open your mind, y'all. Now, I am still blessed to be in the studio with Pastor Henry Bolden III, and I made sure I said the third because I wanted to read everything, And we do have Bobby Clark Alexander from the line, from the ATL on the line as well, because I really wanted both of them, here, because his message is so inspiring. And Bobby, we really need leadership in our community, and we need some vision. We know what's going wrong. So, the good life is all about, okay, this exists, so how can we turn it around? And I really feel like it needs to be with leadership. So I know that you're writing a book right now, right?
Yes.
So give us a little bit about yourself. For people who don't know you, give us a little bit about yourself.
Pastor Henry Bolden III. That means there was 2 that preceded me. My father, grandfather, of course, pastors and preachers. As I am, pastor of Perfecting Life Church here in the beautiful city of New Orleans on Claiborne Avenue. I am a leadership strategist. I host leadership conferences around the country entitled the Leaders Lounge, where we pull leaders from both secular and the marketplace and give them tools, strategies, techniques to build their businesses, their ministries, to enhance what they're doing, to embellish what they're doing. So I'm in the process of writing some leadership books, and I'm excited.
I want one.
I'm excited. You get the first
You're going to come back when you're done?
Absolutely am.
Okay.
I promise you I am. And
you just don't know. I think I might reel you into a monthly leadership lounge, because I think we need more of it.
Yeah,
hint, hint.
yeah.
What y'all listeners think? I know y'all agree.
I would love to.
So give us a little bit exactly about what the leadership lounge. If you're speaking to a group, what exactly, what, I don't want to say the pitch, because what is the delivery? I mean, what is it about? Because we need it right now in New Orleans. And let's say, you're standing in front of all of us, and we're like, please feed us some leadership.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
I think it has to deal with understanding vision, or the significance of vision. Because when you don't have a vision, then you ultimately become vulnerable to circumstances. circumstances dictate to you what should happen or what you're going to do, rather than you having the control of your life. So vision is incredibly important. It is important that you are surrounded by people with vision. I say this all the time. You know, you have people that you go shop with, somebody you eat with, and you have people that fill certain areas in your life. But make sure you have somebody around you that has vision. Every now and then you should sit at the table and ask somebody, what are you thinking? Where are you going from here? And if they can't answer you, then that's almost a telltale sign that I have to separate myself from you, because people who don't know where they're going are very rarely going to be major contributing factors in where you're going.
Hello. Oh, I like that.
And they become nothing more than a deterrent. And it's amazing how people are frustrated with you because you want to embrace a better future. And
I know we have listeners that happened out there.
Absolutely. It happens
so
all
what
the
do you
time.
do when that happens? Because, you know, like say you want to take your life to the next level.
Yes.
And, you know, you have a vision for
Yes.
your life.
Yes.
But then let's say it's family members that are
Yeah.
around you and, you know, are making your steps forward a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's a great question, because generally,
Well, that's what I do.
Generally, I mean, generally the greatest opposition doesn't come from outside or external sources. It generally starts internally, family members, friends, because they have gotten so accustomed to the normal you that they're having problems making the adjustment to the you that wants to be significant and embrace everything that's in you. And so you just have to make the decision, am I willing to stay where I am, or am I willing to take the risk to go into where I know I deserve to be and what I desire?
So once you have the vision and you're like, okay, I want to do this,
yes.
What steps should you take next? Because a lot of things, Bobby, you know, we talk about this all the time, fear.
Oh,
and,
yes.
And what, like, holds us back.
You know, I always say, Eileen, you know, you have to go scared, Pastor. You know, I always tell Eileen that. Sometimes you have to go afraid, because faith comes by hearing, hearing by the word of God.
Yes.
But faith without works is dead.
Absolutely.
You got to sometimes go scared, and the faith increases as you step out.
Absolutely. I think that level of fear is important, and I teach people that because it prevents you.
So fear is important?
It's important, particularly when you are endeavoring to do something larger than you've ever done. What it does is it prevents you from worshiping your own ability to make things happen.
Yes.
Wow,
So
you just opened my mind right there. Okay.
Really, it has to be that sense that says, I'm not, I don't exist independent of God or Him giving me whatever ability, talent, skill, anointing I have to accomplish extraordinary things. So that fear is important.
It fosters humility also.
Absolutely.
Y'all just blew my mind right there, because I've always said, oh, release fear, we don't need any fear.
No, go scared.
We need fear. Okay, so there's a healthy level of fear.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all just dropped some knowledge on me.
Yeah. It absolutely is important. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you stabilized, because people garner a certain degree of notoriety, or they reach a certain apex of success, and they feel like, okay, God, I got it from here. You know, you got me to this point, now I can handle it.
And then He reminds us.
And then He has to bring you all the way down and remind you that it's because of me you move, live, and have your being.
So to move into, you know, once we have the, you know, the healthy level of fear, and we're moving into our purpose and passion, well, let's start there. How important is it for us to be able to find our purpose and passion, and how have you found it, you know, as, you know, pastoring, you know, people?
Yes.
Because I know some people are like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, you had to walk into that and, you know, really open your mind to living differently in the world. Like, I'm going to pastor the people. And I know you said your father and your grandfather did it, but it's different when it's you.
It's absolutely different. And the challenges are different. The times are different. The methodologies are different.
The times are definitely different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. But I think to get a better grasp on it, to go back to what we were talking about, how do we make that transition from the visualization stage into manifesting what we want? A lot of people have vision. That's really not the issue. The issue is translating that vision into implementation.
Okay, I'm gonna raise my hand because I
Okay.
struggle with that. So teach me.
Yeah, it's that intermediate point where I have a lot of zeal, I'm very passionate. I got a vision. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. But most people, when they see the gravity or the depth that acquiring what you want entails, they will either downscale it to make it something more manageable for where they are, or either they'll make the mistake of downsizing who they are to make insignificant people comfortable.
My.
And
preach.
And
Preach.
so it is important that you are very regimented, that you have to have the discipline to be disciplined. You have to know what you want, go after it. Pursuit is proof of desire. Don't tell me
wait,
what.
say that one more time.
Pursuit is proof of desire. So you
I
can't.
need a little bit more pursuit.
So you can't. Eileen can't come to me and say, "I want this," but then there's no pursuit that is attached to your desire. Because
you talking to me this morning. Go ahead.
If you want it, then you move every obstruction out of your way. If you move it, if you really, really want it, then you let nothing stop you from getting it. So you have to have a system of implementation. And what does that mean? That means I have to have a set of detailed, outlined agendas that are going to bring me to the place of fulfillment of a dream or desire. So what does that mean? That means how do I move from a real place that I am into an ideal place that I ultimately want to be? Because that's where the issue is. Not having enough money, that's a real issue. Not having enough influence, that's a real issue. But see, most of those issues are more over-exaggerated and more self-perceived than they are
So it's like
actual.
in our mind.
It really is. If you can conquer that, because you're always saying to yourself, well, I don't have enough people, I don't have enough support. When the truth of the matter is, the thing that God wants to do with you, have you ever considered He may want to use you to be the first one that ever does that?
Hello.
And He wants to get you to do it void of support systems.
Bobby, you got him. You sent him to me. Huh? She's laughing.
Okay.
She tells me that.
I want to throw something.
Yes,
I want to
ma'am.
tag something right there.
Yes,
right
ma'am.
there where you are.
Yes.
This is so critical, and I am so blessed. But listen, when we have passion and vision, destiny, purpose, you literally have to run behind that passion, that mentor, that person that you see that walks in what it is that, so you run behind your mentors. You run behind those who are packing what you have. You know, that's the pursuit he's talking about. And then what we have to also realize is even with our local churches, we have to get under leaderships that have the thing that's in us, that passion, that gift, that anointing that we have in our lives, that will, because leaders, what they do is they help to mold. They have to make us, great to get to that destiny place. Yes. And so I think people are misguided and they have the wrong instruction, like the pastor's trying to give instruction on how you pursue your passion. You got to get with the right people.
Absolutely. You got to. And what you were saying is that most people, when they run into any degree of resistance, they misinterpret that as a moment to retreat. When in actuality, the resistance you're feeling as a dreamer, as a visionary, is always an indication as to how intimidated the enemy is by your relevance.
Exactly.
And so I cannot digress, nor can I become overly discouraged to the point where I throw in the towel. I have to view resistance differently, because could it be possible that you have misinterpreted the resistance you're feeling as a sign that this might not be for me, or maybe this is not the time, or maybe somehow God has changed his mind? It's just an indication that the enemy is intimidated by how relevant you are and can be if you develop some follow through, if you don't give up prematurely, if you don't throw in the towel, and keep pursuing. So that's very, very important.
Well, what you don't know is I'm about to pursue this once a month leadership lounge with Bobby and Pastor Henry Bolden III. I don't know what y'all got of it, but he was speaking to me this morning. So I know you don't know, but now you do know that she'll be a regular right here on the Good Life Radio Show, and I'm really excited about it. And speaking of, following someone, I actually met Mr. Henry Bolden through my new pastor, R.C. Blakes. And so I'm really blessed who I knew him, and he's always been like a big brother in the family. But it's funny because Bobby was like, Eileen, because I told her I was looking for a new church. Yeah. She's like, you know what? You should check out R.C. Blakes. And I was like, oh, my gosh, he's family. Yeah, so long story short, God works in mysterious ways and puts you with the right people to carry your vision forward. And speaking of that vision, guess who will be here right in the studio with me on Friday? None other than Bishop-elect R.C. Blakes. Look, I even shocked Lee. He's nodding his head right there. Yes, make sure you tune in on Friday. I'm really excited about it. They have a Manhood Academy that's starting next week. Everybody needs to know about it. And he has a book out, The Father-Daughter Talk, and everybody needs to hear that too. So I'm so excited. I know y'all can hear it. Make sure y'all tune in Friday, but of course every day. And if you miss a show, you can always find us on Spreaker.com, The Good Life Radio Show, and follow us on all our social media platforms, The Good Life Radio Show. I'm out.